Happy Friday, folks. Yes, we did it. I'm talking about the share holding the line on a specific day that was supposed to be a bluff bath. It was supposed to be Armageddon. The world is coming to an end. And I'm going to share with you in this video after today what I'm doing with my AMC shares, with my actual position in AMC, given everything I'm seeing based off of, the price action, not only on AMC, but also the market conditions based on today's trading session. So everything, again, I was surprised. It seems like every single day we have the same pattern. Every single day, boom, drop, and then have a little pop, like we are going back to green, and then boom, from that point forward, everything just crash. This is the Nasdaq composite. The Nasdaq mostly growth stocks and the tech sectors. If you take the S&P 500, is the exact same pattern. If you take the Russell, the Dow Jones, is the exact same pattern, and it's kind of what we also saw with AMC. But if you take any other stock today, and since the very beginning of this week and the end of last week, is the exact same thing. Because on the last week, look, AMC is down 12%. Only this week, with no news affecting the share price whatsoever on the negative. On the last month, boom, 38%. There you have it. So it's, of course, the short sellers and the hedges trying to manipulate the option change, in order to make as much contract worthless as possible. Look, we have 46,000 calls expiring in the money today, but look at the amount of puts that we also have in the money. It's literally almost 3.5 times. We have 160,000 puts in the money, and we have only 46,000 puts in the money. Of course, this is going to put some more additional pressure into the share price. But the question is, how are they going to do and deal with this? Because this is what adds up to the whole fail to deliver. The FTDs, which we know is now, like a gazillion times what it's supposed to be on a stock like AMC. Meaning they are not covering and they refuse to pay when they lose the battle. All right. So we also have to take into consideration, based on today's session, that if you look at, this is the Dow Jones, all right? This is the Dow Jones. And it's going to be similar to all the major indexes here in the US market. Look at the 5 years. Do you see where, this is actually where we closed today at 34,000. Well, this is almost where we closed at on October. Yeah, October. This is exactly almost all the gains that we had since the last quarter of 2021. It's all gone now. Everything has been erased. Everything has been, eaten up. If you take the S&P 500, this last month, dropping almost 8%, and we're sitting on, where we were, in the beginning of October. If you take the Nasdaq, it's even worse because people are just dumping the tech stocks based on the interest rate that are coming. Almost 12%. This is a correction. This is what we call a correction. And this was kind of due because look at how 2021 started and ended. It was like a rocket going. So at some point, it had to go back down, especially what the Fed is looking to do. So on top of this, and given this, if you go back to AMC, you can also look at where we are, where we were. Right now, we are already back at the levels we were May 2021. Like May 2021. So everything the gains that we had so far, this whole last, 6 to 9 months, all gone. Everything vaporized, So based on this, you have a combination of the short sellers being shorts, the manipulation going on, the option chain every single Friday when we have expiration date on options. But you also have the fact that AMC is really part of the Russell 2000. And you look at the Russell 2000, it's not different. The Russell 2000 is even more, chopped like the others. This is 20% almost from the highs in January 3rd. And now we're sitting on where we were, in December of 2020. like the whole year. So because AMC is also part of this, there is no doubt that AMC was also dragged onto the mud based on the price action here on the Russell 2000, which is really, 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 really weird. So what I'm doing next, based on this, it seems like the bottom might be touched, because when I look at some of the major indexes, like the Russell 2000, 20%, like everything that happened in 2021 all gone now. No, the economy is not slowing down. As a matter of fact, I believe the economy is going to have a boom in 2022, because COVID is still preventing some of the people to consume and spend money. Based also on this, when you look at the NASDAQ, 12%, 12%, you look at the major indexes as I showed, we are already, maybe not for the S&P 500, and that's why I believe, because we are still outside of the 10% correction, 10 to 12% correction, that's why I believe maybe we are not out of the woods here when it comes to seeing the red again next week, even though we might see some pop here and there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see some red days, big red days coming ahead of us, because the whole thing here has to do with, the first interest rate. And next week we have the Fed meeting again. And anytime the Fed meets, it's red all across the board, because nobody knows exactly how many times interest rates are going to increase. So based on this, I believe we might have hit the bottom, meaning I don't expect this to go down much lower, even though I wouldn't be surprised if we see the 15s. But my strategy actually is to, first of all, I will try to grab as much cash as possible and add to my position, because at these levels, I consider AMC to be pretty cheap. Second of all, I'm getting even more confident into what is actually might happen here moving forward, because it cannot continue to go down to the point where it goes back to $2. If it does, then it's the end of the whole market, if the end of the entire market. So based on this, I'm holding even tighter, because the lower it goes, the harder the pop when it starts running again. And as I mentioned, I'm going to try to grab and, as much cash as possible, or, move some things around in order to add to my position, because at these levels, I already see things going up. So I'm much more confident into this, getting closer to an end, especially after the Fed starts, the Fed meeting happens next week, when we have much more clarity around what is going to happen. So believe it or no, AMC is a stock, is part of the market, and the market has its own mechanics, which you cannot really avoid, or get, avoid. So based on this, there you have it, folks. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.